Okay, I think I am live. Okay, hopefully I'm live. Um, Hi, anyone who's there. If you can just let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. I'm still trying to get used to this whole streaming business. So if you can just let me know if you can see and hear me. Oh yes, okay, brilliant. Okay, that's working then. So you can see and hear me okay, yeah? Sorry, there would have been, if you're watching this back, there's going to be me just sitting there looking at the screen aimlessly for about 30 seconds. So I do apologise for that. Hi from Scotland. Hi Gillian. Hi Kay Cooper. Hi Annetta Clark. So my eyesight's getting terrible. Yeah, so it's good to be back uh, on YouTube. It's been quite a long time since I've been on here. Um, since T Phoenix has been on here doing a live or anything like that. But I thought we would have a look at the case of Kiely Rodni. It's making big waves on mainstream media at the moment. It's one of those cases that just seem to have picked up a lot of interest, and there just seems to be a hell of a lot of information being put out there. Um, it makes it a little difficult to gather everything because everything's constantly changing, and some of it's true, some of it appears not to be true. There appears to be the usual crazy people out there that are making up stuff, making up aimless tips and bogus tips and stuff like that. So information is constantly changing, but I've done all my research. I'm going to try and present as much of it as accurately as I can. You'll probably hear me say things. Maybe you've heard something newer. So please let me know if that's the case. Um, but yeah, let's see how we get on. So I think it's really important to use a true crime platform for something like this. It's just the perfect thing, isn't it? To try and find a missing person. So this is Kiely Rodni, and she's 16, nearly 17, and she went missing on Saturday stroke Sunday from Truckee in California. What I'll do, let me bring up a map and we can have a look. I can show you exactly the area that we're talking about. Um, so it's in the state of California, and it's between Reno and Sacramento. So if I kind of set the story for you a little bit. So as I say, this was on Saturday stroke Sunday, so Saturday the 5th of August, going into the 6th of August. And there was a party, late night party. It's a high school student kind of graduation celebration party, and it was in the Prosser family campground in Truckee, and it happened overnight, as I say, on Saturday 5th of August, Sunday 6th of August, and 12:30 a.m. was the last time that Kiely was seen. Apparently there were about 100, 150, 200 people at this party. It was originally just meant to be a small gathering, but it turned into something a lot more. Let me just bring up an image just to give you an idea of the scene really at the party. So basically it's loads of youths, teenagers, young adults drinking. I think what the scene is, some of them drive up in their cars, they'll put their headlights on to give them light because it's pitch black out there, and then they'll start playing music. And doing what young adults and teenagers do, I guess, drinking and what have you. But at some point during this night, Kiely disappeared. completely disappeared. Not only Kiely, but also her vehicle disappeared because she drove to this party. She was last seen by people, one of her friends, at 12:30 a.m. That was it. She disappeared. Her phone went off. They traced her phone. Was last trace was to this location at just after 12:30, and no sight of her vehicle. Yeah, so law enforcement confirmed 200 to 300 people. So this started out as just a kind of, I think it just, the general consensus seemed to be that it was meant to be a party, but nothing near this big. A lot of people turned up from areas from all over the place, and there were apparently a lot of older people there as well, from Reno, from the Bay Area, from all over. And I think one of the key things is nobody seems to be talking. There's a couple of friends, particularly one friend of Kiely's, which is kind of become the spokesperson, and she's speaking up a lot, trying to rally everybody, but nobody else really seems to want to come forward. The police are very much trying to encourage young people to come forward, and see if they've got anything. Obviously, being youngsters, there's going to be a lot of phones there. There's going to be a lot of footage, pictures, probably video. Any of those could have Leah in at any point during the night. It would just help, obviously, the police build a timeline. Yeah, someone said it's so weird the card hasn't been cited. That is very weird. But when you start looking at and thinking about some of the possibilities, maybe it's not. Now, they've done searches of everywhere. Land, sea, air. Nothing. No sight of Kiely's vehicle. No sight of Kiely. Now, when you look at a map, obviously, the obvious thing that springs out is there's a lot of water. There was a lot of water around this area. There was the Prosser Creek Reservoir, Alder Creek. Now, the Prosser Creek Reservoir is actually very close, or fairly close, to where I believe the party was. I think it was either here or around this area here, just to the kind of northwest of that red logo there. Now, one of the theories is that Kiely was. It's believed that Kiely was drinking. It's believed that everyone was there was drinking. I mean, that's what young people would do, right? They were going to be drinking. They're going to be having fun. That's what you do at that age. So one of the theories is that possibly if Riley had a drink and didn't have all of her faculties with her, she could have come out, driven out of this party down one of these tracks towards the boat ramp which goes into Prosser Creek Reservoir. I'll actually show you a couple of pictures of what I'm talking about here. This is one of the theories that maybe she could have, because it's believed that she was, well, there's mystery about whether she was meant to drive home, whether she was staying over that night. She told her mum that she was going to be coming home, and she told her friends that she was staying over. So if she did try and drive out of there that night to go home, there is a possibility, and that is one of the theories, that she may have ended up driving into water. And of course that is a possibility. Yeah, so Royal Nix there is saying it was reported by her mother that she was to be the designated driver, which I've heard. I question the two friends' stories that Kiely was hammered. Yeah, there's a lot of clouded mystery around exactly what happened there. Were they all drinking? Were they all taking something else? Was Kiely inebriated? Wasn't she? There's a lot of that, and that's what makes this story a little bit hard to filter through to find out exactly what's true and what's not. One source will report one thing, another source will report something else. So it's very difficult to gather out exactly what happened. Now they've actually set up a web page called findkiely.com, and you can actually go here. It's a very good site. You can actually download the flyer. You can download images to share. We can have a look through some of those in a minute. So Tam was saying, was the report of her car being spotted this week just a rumour? I've only heard of that being a rumour. I did hear that a car was spotted a long way away. I think it was in Nevada or Arizona. I don't know if that's what you heard, but I heard that just turned out to be a rumour. But I don't know. There's so much flying around at the moment. You know what it's like. You know what it's like with social media. It's just a minefield, isn't it? When a case like this breaks and people start looking into it, it's just a minefield then of information. You don't know what's true, what's not true. It's very, very difficult. So let me just go through the basic story. For anyone who doesn't know, I appreciate some of you may know this story, but the case details kind of thing. But if you watch this for the first time, or you want to recap, I'll just quickly go through. So these are the images that they're kind of asking people to share. Let's just have a look here. So Kiely Rodni, she was last seen August 6th at 12:30 a.m. That's the last report of anybody seeing her. She's 16, 5'7", blonde hair, hazel eyes, 118 pounds. There is a big reward for any information, $75,000. Yeah, somebody just mentioned about Adventures with Purpose. I'm sure most of you probably are aware of their channel. I believe they're aiming to go there at the end of this weekend. They're a fantastic search group. They have a lot of equipment where they can search underwater. Because I have read that there have been cases where it's taken months or at least 3 or 4 weeks for vehicles that have ended up in water to be found, because there's a possibility that the vehicles can drift out quite a way. Certainly if there's silt and stuff at the bottom of, say, a lake, it's quite easy for the vehicle to sink down into that and kind of be at least partially hidden from being found. It's quite surprising how that can happen. So her car is also missing. Let's just have a look at that. Just find the picture for you. So it's a 2013 Honda CRV, silver Honda CRV. It's got a California license plate 8 YUR 127. So if anyone does end up seeing this video, recognizes that registration or whatever, please go to the findkiely.com website. You'll find all the details what you need to report. And I believe there is a sticker, as you can see there. I don't know if you can see that at the bottom. There is a sticker which is believed to be under the rear wiper of what looks like a Ram. So there's no sight of her vehicle either, which is very strange, which opens up all sorts of possibilities, doesn't it, really? What happened to her vehicle? Did she manage to drive out of there? Did somebody else drive her vehicle out of there? Could she have an accident somewhere else? Did she end up in water? Did she come off the road? Has she ended up in a ditch somewhere? Any of those possibilities are open, really. Anyone in information is urged to call Placer County Sheriff's Office. The number's 530-886-5357. So as I say, Kiely was last seen at around 12:30 a.m. on that morning near the Prosser family campground in Truckee, which I just showed you. It was said to be a high school farewell party with a large group. We now know that was somewhere between 250, 300 people. A car's missing. Her phone has been out of service since the party, since 12:33 a.m. was the last cellular data that they had for a phone. I don't exactly know what that was, but according to the campground site, the cell service in that area is pretty good. So it's got to be that her phone is just completely dead. I don't know if it's underwater, whether it'd still be able to send out a signal. I don't know. I would imagine so, not for very long. It's described as a black iPhone. It's got a Sex Wax brand sticker on the back. And as I say, it's been out of service since she disappeared. As I say, that can come from it being manually powered off, the battery dying, or it being in an area with zero service, but I don't think that's the case here. There were no cameras in the campground. Now, they did capture an image of Kiely on a CCTV from a local store. Now, this was at 8:06 p.m. that night. Sorry, 6:08 p.m. that night. They haven't named which store it is, but it's a local store, which is apparently nearby to this area. And that is the last sighted image of Kiely. Somewhere here it's got a description of what she was wearing. Bear with me 1 minute. So in that picture, she was last seen wearing a black spaghetti strap bodysuit, green Dickies brown pants with a black belt and black Vans shoes. That's her in the image there, the third image along from the left. That was the last sighting of her. Now, I don't know whether any of the kids at the party have got newer images of her. They haven't released anything like that. You know, people would have been taking probably selfies and videos and all that kind of stuff. So I'm wondering if there may be, something newer than that. But that was the latest picture that they've released. Apparently, a family own a lodge, a trail lodge, which is like it's got lots of different rooms to it, and that's where they live, which is about 12 miles from where she was abducted. Apparently, the parents never let Kiely interact with any of the people that are staying there. It's not believed that that's a kind of line of investigation that they want to go down. But as I say, there were believed to be a lot more people at this party than they had anticipated. This is the kind of area that it was in. This is the actual place it was in the daylight, obviously, and it would have been pitch black out there at night. They use their car headlights, as I say, to kind of see what's going on. They'll put music on in their cars, and then they'll start drinking and partying using the car headlights as light. So they're all here, hundreds of them. Now, Sam's best friend, you'll see a video of her in shortly. She's done an interview with another YouTuber. She is coming out with a load of information. She seems to be the sort of front person, telling everyone what's going on and what happened. She's saying that she said goodbye to Kiely at 12:25 a.m. and then at 12:36, Kiely called Sami, and that's the last call that anybody had from Kiely. So we do know that her phone was working at 12:36, but that's it. That is the last actual communication. It kind of conflicts with the police saying that 12:33 was the last signal they had, but apparently 12:36, a friend said that she did call her. I think she asked if she wanted a lift home because they had pre-arranged the lift, but her friend was already going home with somebody else. Apparently, Sam arrived about 9 p.m. at this party. Kiely arrived around an hour later, sort of around 9:45, 10 p.m. Sam and Kiely, they've been close friends for a long time. They ended up meeting there. They were screaming hi to each other, and they for the most of the party they stuck to each other. But then the party started to grow bigger. More people started turning up, and that's when they kind of split up, split ways. As you can see there, that's an image of the actual party. That's just gives you an idea of kind of the number of people there. And that's obviously just a small section, but it was obviously turned out to be a lot bigger than they'd anticipated. It was only supposed to be initially people in the Truckee area, but it turned out that, as I say, people came from all over. Apparently, there were older kids there as well. Now, Sami did say this to the a news source initially. As I say, her story has changed a little bit. I'm not going on the attack of Sami at all. I'm just sort of pointing out slight conflicts in her story. But she did say that at one point to a news outlet, she did say that within 10 minutes of being there, I literally had a group of 5 guys try to come get me to take as many bong rips as I could forcefully without my boyfriend present. There was a lot of guys that did approach us. Definitely, I was getting a gut feeling that during the party that something just didn't feel right with the amount of people that were there and how old some of these people were. For the amount of people who did show up, it was scary. It was really scary. And that's what Sami said, allegedly to a newspaper source. Of course, that leads to the notion that maybe one of these older kids at this party, did something nefarious, maybe took Kiely. That's another possibility. I don't know what you guys think about that, but that's obviously one of the possibilities, one of the theories that's been put out. Sami did also say that about 11 p.m. they went to Kiely's car to charge their phones, and at that point Kiely arranged to give Sami a lift home. However, Sami changed her mind later on when she saw that Kiely was clearly intoxicated. So she actually said at that point, again, this is just what's being put out there. This is what I've researched. This is what's being quoted. Kiely was intoxicated. So if she was, did she try and drive out of there? Did she come unstuck? Did she turn into water? Did she come off the road? Was she inebriated? Was she drinking? This is the thing. There are conflicting stories from the same people. As I say, the search efforts have gone on. They've been going on since the day after she went missing. They've searched everywhere. I had a horrible feeling that they were going to find her in a car in a lake. That was my initial gut feeling, but they haven't found anything as yet. Nothing's come up at all. But how can a girl and a car disappear? Really doesn't make sense, does it? Nobody saw anything out of all those people. There are probably still hundreds left there. Nobody saw anything. They believe somebody did see something, but they're not coming forward. I think the law enforcement made it clear that nobody's going to be in trouble. No one's going to be in trouble for drinking or taking substances. They're trying to make that clear because they're worried that some of the younger kids aren't coming forward because they're worried about that. But if any of you happen to be watching this, anyone that was at the party who are looking at videos on YouTube about this case or were there, you know, please don't hesitate just to come forward. I think they're actually putting up a website for people to post anonymously pictures and videos from their phones. I have read that. I don't know if that's true. I'm going to need to look more into that. But if they have done that, that's a really good idea, I think. Now, Lindsay is Kiely's mother. Of course, she's done a plea to Kiely and whoever she believes may have her to come home.
We just want her home. We're so scared and we miss her so much and we love her so much. And Kiely, we love you. And if you see this, please just come home. I want nothing more than to hug you. And if anybody else out there, if you know where she is, if you know anything about where she might be, if you have any ideas or thoughts, please come forward and share them. And we're not looking to bust anybody else or get anybody in trouble. We just want to see our daughter home. We just want her.
So as her mother pointed out there, again, that's something that they're stressing. They're not looking to get anyone in trouble. Any of the children that may have been there, or children, and the young adults that were there, please come forward with any information if you've got anything. Anything you may have on your phone, anything you may have seen, anything somebody may have said, since then to you, something that maybe doesn't sound right, or, please just come forward. I find it hard to believe that nobody saw or heard anything. Considering the amount of people that were there, I find that really hard to believe. Like law enforcement, I really do feel that somebody knows something. Somebody saw something, as small as it may be. It may prove important, right? So that was Kylie's mum. Now Kiely did text her mum. She got a text from her at 11:30 p.m. and Kiely said that she was going to be leaving the party at 12:15 and she was coming straight home. Now, what happened between then and 12:30 when she disappeared, her phone disappeared, her car disappeared? Who knows? But somebody did see her at 12:30, so that seems to be the time, the key time. Somewhere after 12:30, she obviously didn't go home when she said she was going to go home. I believe, like somebody said, she was probably just saying that to her mum, saying that she was a designated driver and what have you, to give her the impression that she wasn't going to drink and maybe she had to stay there a bit longer. But nothing from 12:30. Nothing at all. Disappeared. Gone. Now her friend, like I say, her friend has been coming out and saying a lot. I'll just look at her video in a minute. She's just done an interview with another YouTuber, so I'm just gonna show that. I'll probably just have to interject now and again, just because obviously for reasons you have to do when you're showing streamed videos and what have you. But I just want to show you the hoodie that she was believed to be wearing that night. It's now believed, this is just the sort of latest bit of information, that she was wearing a white sweater that night. So it's something that they're trying to put out there to see if people, it stirs anything with anyone. She was believed to be wearing this white hoodie at the party at some point during that night. It's got Odd Future on it. It's a white hoodie with the words Odd Future on it. And there was another hoodie actually, which, as I understand it, was loaned to her that day. I Don't know whether she had it on at the party or not. I'm not sure. Eerily, it's got the words on the front. It says, "You don't want to be forgotten. You just want to disappear." I mean, that given the circumstances, that's very, very eerie, isn't it? So what the hell? What the hell's happened to this girl? I just find it, it's horrible. It must be awful. I mean, my daughter's 18 now. This girl's 16. I just couldn't imagine how I'd feel if something like this happened to me. Um, and it's just the circumstances that are surrounding it. There's so many people there, yet nobody saw anything. She's just disappeared off the face of the earth. Not only that, her car and her phone. So did she drive off? Did she try and drive home? Did she come off the road? Is she in a ditch somewhere? Did she drive into water? Is the car in a lake somewhere? Did someone at the party manage to convince her that he would drive her home, and has abducted her? There's just so many possibilities. Was she abducted? Are her and her car still together? And her phone, are they still together? Are they all still together? Did she stay the night there or not? Was she there later or not? Did she leave when she said she was going to soon after 12:30? Did she try and leave then, or did she stay later? Was there somebody there watching her? Was it one of these older kids there with bad intentions? Did somebody see her inebriated if she had had a few drinks? Did somebody see that? Take advantage of that? There's truly, really, just so many possibilities. It's kind of crazy, and there's like I say, online there's so many different theories going around. Unfortunately, the usual kind of Looney Tunes who are putting in fake tips and what have you. That's happened already. People claiming that they know stuff, and it's just turned out to be bogus. So as I was saying, her best friend is Sami Smith, or one of her friends is Sami Smith. She's the girl that was with the party. One of the girls that was with her at the party. She saw her up until 12:30. She got a text from her at 12:36. She got a call from her, Kiely, at 12:36. Kiely rang her to see if she still wanted to lift home, that they had pre-arranged. Her friend Sami was already on the way home with somebody else. But this girl, Sami Smith, did an interview with a another YouTuber, and we'll just take a look at that. Now, the YouTuber is All American Dream Chaser. I'll put the link to his channel, of course, underneath this video. I recommend, if you're interested in this case, please go and watch it, because without me interjecting over it. But I haven't seen hardly any of this. That would be interesting for me as well. This girl was obviously going to have a lot of key information as to what happened, because she was with her that night, all night. Well, she left at pretty much the time that Kiely was believed to have gone missing. So let's take a look at that, and I'll just have to pause it just a few times just to interject with a few comments and what have you, just to make it fair use and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, given the circumstances, I don't think it's going to be a problem. We'll try and find a missing person. So let's take a look at that.
Welcome, Sami Smith.
Hi.
And Sami, thank you so much. I know you've been super busy, and it's an honor. It's a privilege to have you. I'm sorry for the circumstances, but I know you're super busy. You're pressed for time. So let's get to it. I know you've been repeating yourself all day, but what's the latest? Tell us who Kiely Rodni is. Go ahead. I'll let you.
So just to clarify, this is Sami Smith. This is Kiely's friend. She was with Kiely at the party. She saw her at the party. She spoke with her at the party. She arranged to go home with Kiely, then changed her mind, and she saw Kiely right up until 12:30. She got a text from her at 12:36. Got a phone call from her at 12:36. Spoke to her then. That was the last she heard.
you have the stage.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you,
No,
Kiely. Yeah.
you're welcome. I know you're super busy. I know you got to be tired. I know you've been busy.
Yeah.
I followed you at the press conference today, and I know you're a busy girl. And I just want to say I really admire what you're doing. You're amazing young. You're only 18 years old, right?
Yeah.
You're,
I'm 18.
it's outstanding for a young girl your age to. But anyway, nonetheless, I know you're pressed for time, and everybody's wanting to know what's the latest. What is? Well, I'll let you take it from the top. Who's Kiely, Rodni? Let's go back to the beginning, I guess, real quick. Just give us a rundown.
Totally. Yeah. So, Kiely is one of my close friends. We met through mutual friends, and we became closer in the past year to coming months recently. And she is just a light in a lot of people's lives. She's wonderful. She's smiling all the time. She's caring. She's beautiful. She's there for anybody who has ever needed her. She's very outgoing. She's outdoorsy too. She loves the water. She loves to sing. Her voice is just amazing too. And she's just a beautiful girl, and we all miss her a lot. And so,
Yeah, I'm sure. You saw her at the party, right? You were at the party with her.
yes, I was the last person to contact her after the party, and I was with her basically throughout the entire party. I was I was
No, it's okay.
walking
It's
around
okay.
with her, and
I know you got a lot going on. I
yeah,
get it.
I'm at the teen to teen meetup, so there's a lot of
No,
kids outside.
everybody's wanting to talk to you, and like I said, I greatly appreciate every minute I have with you.
Yeah.
Can you take a quick look at this photo? Is
Yeah.
this what she? Can you confirm whether or not she was wearing this at the night of the party? Is that what she was wearing?
Yeah, so that top is exactly what I saw her in. If you can see on her left side, on her hip, you can see some skin. She was wearing a black bodysuit. I remember because we went to the bathroom together, peed in the woods together a couple of times, and so that's her shirt right there. The pants were different that she wore to the party. She was
Yeah. Thanks, Firefly. I just realised I was muted there. I was just saying to myself, this girl, Sami Smith's getting a lot of flack online, I've noticed. She's getting a lot of grief from people who are picking up in the conflicts in her story and are kind of using that against her. And saying that, why she's come forward so much. Why does she want to be the spokesperson? Why does she want to put herself out there so much? Which I find a little strange. Obviously, people online are very quick to attack people, pick them up on the smallest thing. It's just something to bear in mind. This girl was getting a lot of flack, and it doesn't really feel warranted to me, but just something to note, really.
wearing green Dickies pants, but that belt is definitely what she was wearing too. I remember watching her have to take it off when we were using the restroom together. We were out using the outdoor restroom, if like popping squat, basically. So yeah.
That was just released from the Placer County Sheriff's Office. This picture, I just found it on their Facebook page.
Yeah.
So there's talk about this top, the spaghetti straps top. Some people are saying it was found at the area. Can you confirm that, or is that
so that has not been confirmed. If it has not been posted on our Find Kiely Rodni Instagram page or on the website or on the Placer County Sheriff's Office Facebook or anything, then it is not true, and it is not something that people should be following on or trusting. The information will be posted and will be coming from us when it is confirmed. So to let people know what to look out for, if a changed shirt or something. So yeah, that has not been confirmed.
Okay. Perfect. So at the night of the party, the last time you saw her, can you tell us about? I guess give us a rundown of the party real quick. I understand it was a large gathering.
Yeah,
100.
so it was supposed to be a senior farewell party where all the seniors and everybody from around our area, like Tahoe and Truckee.
So that's one thing obviously that is concerning, right? Is that this small party that was meant to be people graduating high school turned into a kind of mass of hundreds of people, people from different areas and older kids, older and young adults. Um, that kind of makes things a little bit more concerning because obviously then you don't really know what some of these people are, what their intentions are of being there. And obviously it just makes things a little bit not so good, right? If you've got lots of people there that aren't from the area, they're older, maybe there to cause trouble, it just makes things seem a little bit more suspect. But yeah, that's something that's been made clear now. The party grew and grew to a much bigger than what it planned to be.
And Incline and Kings Beach were supposed to be there. They were invited there because it was supposed to be like saying goodbye to your favorite seniors before everybody starts going off to college, because soon enough here people are going to start leaving and moving out. And so Kiely's a senior, or she graduated early, so she's considered a senior, and I was a senior, so every senior was initially invited to the party. And as well, all grades were invited just so that they could say goodbye. So I had talked with Kiely, and I had known she was going beforehand. We hadn't planned on going together, and we ended up not going together. She came with her best friend Mags Larson. Magdalene, sorry, is her first name.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, and so she came with her, drove in with her, and then Mags ended up leaving about 10 minutes into the party with her boyfriend Ross, Mags's boyfriend, and told Kiely goodbye and everything. And they were never planning on like leaving together or staying together at the party. They just went to the party together because they were hanging out earlier in the day. And then I saw her the second she got there, and from that moment on, we were pretty much seen together all around the party. We would break off for mere moments from each other to go talk to other people or to go do other things, but we would always come back to each other. We were just going around the party. We were drinking the same drinks, being teenagers, throwing glow sticks into the party, and it started to grow really big. I would say around 10 to 10:30. It just blew up. Like, it started to get to the point where I was getting overwhelmed, and I'm a very social person. I've been to a lot of these parties. I've never been overwhelmed. I've actually been underwhelmed, but at this party it was very large. Like, it was bigger than any party we've had in Truckee all year, and for a lot of years past. There were people from what we think Sacramento, San Francisco. I remember talking to somebody who was from San Francisco, Reno, Folsom, areas that were just way out of reach from it. And it was really overwhelming and weird to see, but I didn't really think much of it. I just thought, oh, kids are around here. They have vacation homes up here. They're just coming to party because why not? So then Kiely and I were going around taking shots and just drinking. We were trading drinks with each other. We were sharing drinks with each other. We would go back to her car to get some alcohol sometimes. And then.
So basically, she's confirming there that they were drinking, right? She said it there. They were taking shots. They were drinking alcohol. So that's confirmed in my mind. It certainly should be everyone's, that they were drinking. I mean, I suspected that they probably were because of their age and what have you, at a party. That obviously then leads on to the concern that if she was driving, yes, maybe she had planned to stay the night. But what if she had been drinking? What if maybe she had a few drinks, took a time out, waited a bit, thought she would be okay to drive home, thinking that her alcohol will be under the limit. Obviously, that's a possibility, right? That she could have tried to drive out of there, drive home, thinking she was okay. When you're young, you're stupid. We've all done it. We've done stupid things, and it could have gone wrong. That's obviously is a real possibility from what she said now.
We went to her car to charge her phone, and we were talking about just random stuff. And then it's kind of hard to remember. And so, or no, we were talking about her texting her mom and her charging her phone and stuff, and just about the party in general. And then we had a few other friends in the car, and then we all decided to go back to the party, and we were around in there for a bit. I had asked her for a ride home when we were in the car because my ride was leaving and I wanted to stay at the party longer. And so then we ended up splitting up in the party because I went to go find another ride when we got back into the party after leaving the car, so that we could sorry, my mind is in a moment.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I do think also there, as she's saying about, they went to Kylie's car to charge their phones. How low a battery was Kylie's phone? How much did she charge it? Did she charge it enough? Did it die? Did it die? Is that why it can't be traced? Did it die before it disappeared? Or was it switched off? That obviously then it opens up that kind of line of questions, doesn't it? I mean, did her phone naturally die and that's why they can't trace it? Or did somebody take it and turn it off? It's just something that makes you think, really.
I want to take a couple of questions here real quickly. Noah in the chat wants to ask you, who was fighting at the party? The girl and guy, look into them.
That reminds me, that's another thing. Apparently there was some fights going on at this party. I think they said arranged fights. So whether this was the older kids, maybe this was kids that had come from other areas, from outside, the people that they weren't expecting to be there. But there was some fighting going on, apparently, at this party. Arranged fighting, apparently it's something that young people do nowadays. They arranged to meet up and have a fight, and apparently that was going on that night.
Was there a fight at the party?
Yeah, so there were some friendly fights that were going on. There was we had boxing gloves. People were trying to instigate. It wasn't anybody who had really any drama or they weren't enemies or anything. It was more just friendly fights to keep entertainment going. This happens at a lot of our parties. We just do it to have fun. If somebody gets hurt, we have people on them, but
so it wasn't like a fight out of anger. It was just kind of just a fun competition type of fighting.
Yeah, just see who wins and who goes home with the title, which I will randomly admit people do end up getting in fights over who won, but not this time.
Daniel Taylor, and Nola, thank you for that comment. Daniel Taylor's in the house. Daniel Taylor wants to ask you, did Kiely have her boyfriend or an ex-boyfriend with her at the party?
No, there was no ex-boyfriend there. Her ex-boyfriend lived in Napa. He was in Napa at the time, and I think he lives in Napa. And he actually drove up the next day, the second he heard that she was missing.
Just going to interject there, just a little plot twist. As from what I understand, Kylie's boyfriend, I think he's from the Reno area or somewhere. He's out of there. He wasn't there. But there is a rumor that Sami here was his ex-girlfriend, that the boyfriend of Kiely used to go out with Sami. Don't know if that's 100% correct, because it's just one of those things that's been circulating on social media and mainstream media, and I don't know what to trust and what not in this case at the minute, but that is something that's gone around. Of course, obviously that's going to be used against Sami. You know what people are like, but that's just something to bear in mind and maybe look into a little bit if you're looking into this case.
He's very close with her family and her. There was no anything, and she does not currently have a boyfriend. She was rocking the single life, like we used to say. She just wanted to be.
Interesting. Okay, she actually said she was single. I thought she had a boyfriend, but she's saying there that she was single at the time.
Open and single and have fun as a kid.
I get it. She's only 16. She's just a baby. I just can't even imagine. How's mom doing? Have you talked to her mom at all?
Yeah, so I've been in close contact with the family.
How they doing? She looked just a nervous wreck. I can't even imagine what she's going through.
Yeah.
Our thoughts and prayers are with. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say our thoughts and prayers are with the family. It's got to be a hard time. What can we do to help? What can the public do? The web sleuths out there. What can we do to help and help find Kiely? What can we do to
Well,
help you?
to everyone at this point around the world, I'm hoping that this is reaching, and if anybody's seeing this, just if they can keep sharing this, get the story out to neighbors and friends and family and local news stations and local newspapers, and posting flyers, making flyers, screenshotting, and somehow making flyers. We need this information to spread everywhere. We're trying to get posters everywhere, information everywhere, just trying to have everybody in the world at this point looking for Kiely and just trying to find Kiely. And if anybody sees anything, to report it immediately to the sheriff's, the police, the Placer County Sheriff's Office, or the numbers that have been loaded on. There's been a lot of trouble and frustration with people about the tip line, but they have to understand that there's 1,000 people in there working, getting millions of calls a day now.
I know you had stated that we're not trying to create any rumors, but there was something on the Facebook page that I wanted to see if maybe you can comment on this. It says 2 days ago on the Neighbors app at 1:00 in the morning, a topless female was being chased by a Honda CRV and was pulled back into the vehicle in Sacramento, California. That's about an hour and 38 minutes away from Prosser Campground. Kiely drives the Honda CRV. Her tank top was possibly found at the scene. I know we just discussed that. We can't verify that is true. Down the road from so they're saying her tank top was found at the scene down the road from the Prosser Campground. The timestamps could be off due to a camera clock being accurate or inaccurate. But I don't know is there anything you can comment on that?
Yeah, so we are investigating into that currently, from my knowledge of the detectives, and it has not been confirmed nor denied that if that is Kiely, but we do not believe that her shirt has not been found. I can confirm that her shirt was not found, nor were any articles of her clothing at all.
Okay, so I want to let's repeat that. The spaghetti strap shirt that was claimed to have been found, that was not hers.
No, it was not hers. It was investigated by the FBI and the cops and everything.
Thank you so much for clarifying that. So the spaghetti strap shirt, the top that was found, that did not belong to Kiely Rodni. Thank you for that, Sami.
Yeah.
So I can. So now when we watch the press,
there's been a few stories like that and rumors like that have kind of gone. And there was another one where there was somebody said that Checker Barn or something a few miles away, and it just turned out to be bogus. It just turned out to be a false lead. They seem to be getting a lot of these, unfortunately. You know what people are like on the internet, social media, and what have you. So yes, there has been a lot of kind of false leads and bogus tips going in, which is sad, really. People haven't got anything better to do with their time, but there you go.
Conference, the police were saying that they're trying to get everyone that was at that party to come forward. So should we should we get that message out as well to everybody that was at that party that they need who do they contact?
Well, I've been not in charge, but I've taken on the responsibility of trying to get in contact with everybody at that party. I've posted teen meetups, teen to teens, where there's no adults, no parents, and no media coverage. Everybody stays anonymous, and everybody does not get, everybody is just talking teen to teen. We have interviewers, only about 7 or 8 of us, and that's the limit we're trying to keep it at, to keep the information kind of in a simple one source area that we can go to. And we've moved locations, multiple, trying to make things more convenient in the Tahoe area, in the Truckee area. We've held one last night, and then we held one tonight, and we had a lot of teens come out today and explain things. It's just a way for teens to not feel the pressure of getting in trouble by their parents, or to feel like the cops are going to get them in trouble, or to feel that the media will spread their face all over the internet. We're just trying to get teens to be honest, because kids.
Okay, I'm just going to flick through a bit, guys. I thought she was going to give a bit more information, but it just seems to be generally what we already know. She's not really giving out anything.
Kids will tell kids who they kiss. Bowl that is right under the windshield wiper. Right under that is where the back windshield, the animal. It's a sticker of a bull, the animal, like a cow with horns.
Okay.
Right under the back windshield wiper. It's
Okay.
right under that, and her
Wow.
car does have hubcaps, because in a lot of these pictures, cars don't have hubcaps. Her car has Honda hubcaps.
Okay. Wow. So look.
It's quite a big vehicle, isn't it, as well? See, you know, Honda CRV. It's not a massive 4x4, but it's quite a big vehicle, you know, and that'd be quite difficult to, well, I suppose not if you had a garage or something, but you know, not the easiest thing to hide, is it? A vehicle, and you know, if it was in that area anywhere, you know, down a ditch or anywhere in the water, I just thought they would have found it by now. But like I said, if it has gone in and it's drifted out, there is a possibility that it's going to take them, if it is in water, a while to find it. But yeah, I just find that crazy that somebody and her car can just disappear like that. It's just seems crazy
For
to me.
that car that has it may have a bull sticker.
Huge groups of people we had never met, because her and I are similar in the sense that we're both very social. We'll talk to anybody we meet. We love
Right.
meeting people, and so that's what we
Yeah.
were doing and
Oh,
everything. And
you girls are amazing. I'm just impressed, but it's so sad that this has happened. I just man, my heart goes out to the family. I just you know, she's a beautiful young girl. She's only I got a daughter the same age. Lord, I can't imagine what they're going through. I just can't imagine.
That's me too, dude, or nearly. I think that's why this story's hitting home with me because obviously I've got a, you know, a young adult daughter, and it's just kind of, I suppose it kind of hit a chord with me, really. This story.
yeah,
I'm just trying to think. I'm assuming that they're checking mine shafts. Maybe the car went down off the road into a ravine. I
yeah,
don't know. But the phone. What about the phone? Can you tell us about her cell phone? Is there anything
yeah.
specific you can tell us? Go ahead.
So it has it's we're having trouble remembering what color. Like, my cell phone is a green phone, but I have a orange case on it. But we do know that her phone has a black case on it with a sticker on the very middle back that says sex wax on it, and it's an iPhone, not the Samsung that was found. It's an iPhone.
So it's
Where
an
I
iPhone.
Yeah, I forget which generation and which like number, but I can post about that or something, or get in contact with you.
Okay. Real quickly, Laura Truan wants to ask you, what about pictures and social media posts? There has to be evidence this party went down. I'm sure there's
Yeah,
people taking photos or TikToks. I'm sure there's got to be a TikTok video of the fight or something, right? There's got to be something out there.
yeah. So
Yeah, I think this is the thing I think they're really big on focusing on now is trying to get, you know, anyone at that party, any of the people that were there, to look at their phones, you know, to look at their pictures, to look at their videos. You know, there's got to be a picture, video on somebody's phone of Kiely at some point during that night. You know, there's got to be, really, isn't there? The amount of people that were there, whether people don't want to come forward, whether people are frightened that they're going to get in trouble, I don't know, but that's something that they're very much urging, you know, people to do. And like I say, I think I've read that they're setting up a website where people can post them anonymously, which is a fantastic idea. But I just need to look into that a little bit further.
there's hundreds of videos. We have videos of people taking videos.
Oh, wow.
We
Very
have
good. Very good.
hundreds of videos, hundreds of pictures. We've asked everybody to send us any videos and any pictures that they have, even if it's a picture that looks exactly like something else sent us. It could have different angles. We are looking at an app called Be Real, which is where a lot of kids waited, because the Be Real, it's an app where you can post a picture and there's 2 minutes at random points in the day. There's only one a day, and
Mhm.
it comes as a notification will pop up on your phone that says you have 2 minutes left to post your Be Real. Like, everybody has, you can post it later in the time, but you're supposed to post it in that time. We're looking at everybody's Be Reals, because we know a lot of people waited until they were at that party to post their Be Reals. So we're looking for people to look back in their Snap memories of anybody that we can see in those videos, anybody that we can see in those Be Reals. We are looking at Instagram.
Yeah, so Zelda just asking in chat there what the weather was like, were there any fires? As I understand, it was fairly clear, and I believe that in that area there's a very strict fire ban at the moment because you know, they've had so many problems with wildfires and what have you in California. I don't think I don't think they're allowed to have fires in that area. I think there's a very strict um, they're very strict on people not doing that. You know, you can get into a lot of trouble if you do. Um, as far as I understand, there was no fire there or anything like that um, that night.
And post photos taken on video cameras, photos taken on Snapchat, videos on all of these, and everything.
Okay. She lived fairly close. Is this picture correct? She was about 12 miles away.
There you go. So that picture there, so that's the family home. That's Kylie's family home. They run, as I say, like a lodge, which has got, as I understand, it's a bit like a hotel, I suppose. They've got various rooms there. Um, the mother says that they always keep Kylie away from the guests. You know, they don't let her interact with the guests or anything like that. And they're not considering that any kind of way as a lead or anywhere that they want to look as an investigation. Obviously, people were saying, you know, maybe could there have been someone staying there that had their eye on her, was following her, went there to that party, and you know, and did something bad, something nefarious. But they've kind of ruled that out. So as far as I know, there isn't really kind of anywhere to go on that.
The Prosser family campground was roughly about 12 miles from her
Yeah.
house. Is that correct? And a friend. I mean, your thoughts on her running away? Would she have a reason to run away? I'm just trying to come up with anything.
Of course, that's the other option, guys. Did she run away? Yeah, for any reason, did she run off? But then she would have had to driven off, right? She would have had to take her vehicle, her phone. Her phone's not been heard of since. She's not used any credit cards, any cash machines, anything like that. The vehicle's not been seen anywhere. So it makes it hard to believe that line, but you know, I guess that's always a possibility. She took off. Was young, wanted to get away for whatever reason. Never know. That, of course, is another theory.
It's just. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, what do you think?
To be fully honest, from what I believe about Kiely, all ideas are still open in the air. But she's not the type of girl to run away. She loves people too much, and she has too much care in her heart to leave people and not leave a note or talk with one of her friends or something. And she is smart enough to know how this would get out and that people would be worried about her. And she's a smart girl. She graduated with honors early from high school and was going to attend college, and she had plans for her life, and she seemed really happy.
And I'm sure she wouldn't want to put her mom through this.
No.
Her mom just is destroyed.
Her mom is her life. Her mom is fully invested in her life.
I could see that. I could see she's got very loving parents, and I could tell this is hard on them. And like I said, our thoughts and our prayers are with the family. We really want the best. We want Kiely to be found. DG's asking you, I think she's in the water in the car, drove into water. Have they checked the water? I'm sure they probably have, but is there anything you can tell us about, you know, have they sent dive teams in, do you know, or anything like that? Or
yeah, so there have been dive teams sent in, and I can pretty much only say they've done thorough searches through the waters, through the lakes surrounding.
They have for days now. They've searched the water, they've searched everywhere, the whole area by air, they've searched all the land. Nothing as yet.
They are searching the waters, they are searching the campgrounds, and if they're shining spotlights down to see, knew she was drunk, offered to give her a ride home, and they didn't give her a ride home. And they could be across the world at this point with how long she's been gone. And I'm worried that I have a feeling, and obviously, I don't know. I have a feeling that she is still alive and she's still out there and she's still fighting, but that there's somebody else involved, and that's not confirmed. That's just what I believe. I think there has to be somebody else involved in this. But
it's just so sad. Rhonda's wanting to ask you, did she wear an Apple Watch? Do you know? Did she wear an Apple Watch?
No, I don't believe so. I don't remember.
I'll just stop it. That's pretty much at the end, guys. But yeah, I mean, it's just an absolute mystery, isn't it? Like I say, I'll go back to this, you know, this hoodie that she was given. You know, it says you don't want to be forgotten, you just want to disappear. It's just horribly a horrible bit of kind of symbolism, isn't it, considering what's happened. Um, but like her friends and family say, they just don't believe she would run away, and I just can't believe she would have managed to take off like that with her car and phone and just disappear off the face of the earth like that. Not at her age, 16 years old. I just don't think she'd be able to do that. I really don't. But like I say, if you want to look up more, there is this site findkiely.com, and it's got um, on there. It's got all the information. It's got the tip line numbers. It's got the county sheriff's office number. It's got pictures. It's got her vehicle and everything on there. Height, weight. It's a good place to have a look. Certainly, if you've not heard about the case or what have you, then by all means take a look. But it's one that I'm following quite closely. I'm trying to follow the updates as much as I can. There's always so much information coming in, and a lot of it's just rubbish. So it's difficult to follow some of it. But yeah, I guess we just keep our fingers crossed, right? I mean, it's been well over a week now. So it was early morning 6th of August. So well over a week. I just find it mystifying that a 16-year-old girl would disappear like that, and her car, and nothing on her phone. It's just mind-boggling, really. As I say, it's making quite big waves in mainstream media and what have you. There's a lot of reports going out on it, so I'll keep you updated with anything else that I hear. But yeah, I guess we just hope and pray that it comes to a happy end, as we know a lot of these cases don't. So let's hope that this one is one that does. But yeah, obviously, if anyone's watching this, anyone happens to take interest, who was at the party, or knows someone who was at it, and knows something, then please, for God's sake, just get in touch with the Placer County Sheriff's Office. Just look the number up. It's 530-886-5375. Go to this site. It's findkiely.com. It gives you all the numbers on there to give information anonymously as well. There's an email tip line. Please just say something. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there for tonight, guys. I'm going to jump off. Seems to have been a successful first stream back. I'm just working my way back around the software that I use and what have you. But thanks for popping in. I hope it's kind of perked your interest a little bit if you didn't know about this case. But I think it's one of those cases that will really get you looking into it once you start, because it is just a mystery, such a mystery. And of course, there's a 16-year-old girl that needs to go back home safe to her family. So let's just hope and pray that, as I say, this comes to a happy conclusion. And I will speak to you again soon, sometime soon, I'm sure. As I say, thanks again for dropping by.